You got some lipstick on your teeth.
Anyways, I did a poll on Instagram and I asked you guys if you would want to see a video kind of talking about my relationship, kind of advice for a healthy relationship, how to keep a strong relationship, or what to look for in a relationship. So I thought, what better way to do it than have my wonderful boyfriend come be a guest. And so basically I came up with 5 tips, and so did Bryan, and we haven't seen each other's tips.
No.
And we just thought we would kind of do a casual video conversation, just going over our different tips and advice that we have. So with that being said, let's get into
the video.
So one of the biggest tips that everyone gives is communication, but it's because it is so important. And in previous relationships, I feel like communication was something that was lacking. I always felt like I couldn't say certain things, or I couldn't tell them how I felt because I was scared, or I knew that they would get mad or angry with me. And I feel like for a relationship to be really healthy, you have to communicate what you're feeling no matter how hard that topic may be. I feel like you have to tell them when you're unhappy no matter how hard that is for you to actually say that. I think it's so important to be able to say those things, and I think it just makes you stronger as a couple, and it makes you feel more comfortable with that person when you're able to fully communicate anything and lay it all out on the table and just let them know how you're feeling, communicate every single thing that's coming through your mind and brain. I think it's just important no matter, like, if you're not living together, if you're living together, if you're long distance, communication is something that's always going to strengthen the relationship and bring you guys back together. Like, especially now with Bryan at school all day and then he works right after that, and I'm working during the day. We don't see each other for a majority of the day, so when we see each other it's at 10 o'clock at night. And I think one of the biggest things is, like, right when he gets home, just spending that time communicating and talking to each other and asking about each other's day and just really communicating. And if something's bothering me, I let him know. If something's bothering him, he lets me know. Communication is a really big part of a relationship, and I think that's something that couples need to focus more on.
Yeah, definitely. So my first point is that, like, if you're not in a relationship right now, or you're thinking about getting in one, or you just got out of one, don't try to go for a rebound, or just don't try to be with someone just for the point, you know, just for the fact of being with somebody. Don't feel like you need more than just yourself. Like, there's a timing thing with all that, and really you have to take time to know yourself first before you try to get to know, you know, another person romantically. I've tried to do that before, and just things never worked out. You know, I had my own insecurities and stuff I had to work out, and I think that just kind of makes you force yourself into something you probably don't want to be in, even if you don't admit it to yourself. So yeah, really just take time to really get to know what you're looking for in a person, who you are, and who would work well with you. And I think when you take that time and not try to rush into things just kind of tend to happen.
Very good point.
Thank you.
So my second point is cut out the technology, the social media, the texting. So something that I always say is that texting should be limited to food, emergencies, or just like a hi, I love you, like a simple thing. Yeah. I feel like a lot of relationships rely on texting all day, which I sort of understand if you're not living with each other. But still, if it's long distance, sure, texting, great. But if you're living with each other or you see each other a lot, like, I just feel like texting needs to be minimized, because so many people rely on texting. Like, they go to their friends and they're like, look at this cute text he sent, oh my gosh, he loves me so much. But, like, are those actions really showing that? I feel like so many people just read into text so much. Like, someone will say, okay, ... and people will be like, oh my god, what does he mean? He put 2 dots after the okay, like, is he breaking up with me? Is he mad at me? And it's like, that's why texting is so bad for a relationship. I feel like you're causing problems that aren't really there. I think the same thing with social media, that couples get too caught up in looking perfect for social media. And I won't lie, I felt that way too with like pictures, but I've gotten better at just posting what I want to. I feel like so many people, they go into relationships like looking for a relationship thinking, I need someone who's gonna look good on my Instagram, he's gonna do all the perfect things, we're gonna take the cutest pictures, we're gonna go on these dates just for the Instagram picture so it looks good on Instagram, or they just...
I feel like a very, very small percentage of people actually live the way they portray on that. You know, everybody, whether you realize it or not, is trying to portray some type of image, you know. So that's not really what you should strive for.
Yeah. And I also feel like people also read too much into social media. Like, they take likes way too seriously. Like, some people say that I'm obviously dating Bryan and he likes a girl's picture. To some people, they freak out. They cause this huge argument because he liked a girl's picture. But it's just a picture. I like guys' pictures all the time. I mean, I don't even really mean to. I mean, I just am going through, and if I like a picture, I like a picture. It doesn't, my like does not mean that I like that person, that I want to date that person. Like, it's a like on social media. Like, I mean, everyone needs to calm down. And then the last thing with texting and social media is, like we kind of touched on, is that instead of spending quality time with someone, when you're with your significant other, you're just like on your phones all the time. And that's something we have struggled with, but I feel like we're definitely getting better at. But I just feel like cutting that out of your relationship definitely shows like the strength of your relationship. I mean, take the phone away and see if you can have fun with each other. You can hang out, you can hold a conversation. Like, that will show how strong a relationship is. There's a point when you need to just set them aside. They have their time and their place, and it's not when you're with your significant other spending time with them. Like,
my second point is to give each other creative space, and I think it just kind of goes along with just giving each other a little bit of like alone time once in a while. I think it's just like for every person, whether you're in a relationship or not, or hanging out with friends or whatever, just to like have a little bit of time, whether it's every day or like take one day out of your week or whatever, and just like do something that you like to do by yourself, whether that's just like drawing or sitting in your room listening to music. But yeah, like I think just like the creative space, like especially now that I'm in school, you know, I love hanging out with Ashley, but like I just think better when I'm by myself.
Yeah, I think it's important to have your alone time, because being around each other too much can just, it makes you butt heads. Obviously, I love his company. I love being around him. I miss him the second he leaves. But at the same time, I need time to do things that I enjoy, that make me happy, that relieve my stress, and just kind of make me feel calm and peaceful without the distraction of someone else. And my third one is to understand their love language. And if you don't know what a love language is, look it up. There's 5 different love languages, and everyone has 1 or 2 of them. And basically, a love language is how you receive love. And I think it's so important to learn this about your partner, because not everyone's gonna receive love the same way. So my 2 love language, I would say, would be words of affirmation and acts of service. But those things might not be how he receives love. So it's important to learn that so that you can do those things for your partner to show that you do love them.
I like this one. I think that's something that, you know, every person in a relationship should try to do just themselves, like in their heads. Like, remember those like little moments that make you happy, or that one day where, you know, we went on a date and this happened, or if, you know, everybody is just like slap happy, rolling on the floor laughing, and you don't even know why. Just those little inside jokes and moments, if you can just remember them and bring them up later, it just like I think it just shows the other person that you're actually taking into account all the things that you do, remembering them, and just, you know, acknowledging that like the relationships, the moments that you spend together are like worthwhile and memorable. So just really make those memories, even if they don't seem, you know, that important. You know, it's the littlest things that matter.
Yeah,
that
I
make a
think
relationship.
it's so important to just cherish those little moments, because once those moments are gone, they're gone forever. So the fourth one is take the time to learn their interests and listen to their passions. I think it's really important to listen to their passions and understand them and interact with them. I think there's something really special about learning their passions and like hearing them talk about something they're passionate about and showing them that you care.
I think regardless of your age, you shouldn't just go into relationships just half-heartedly or not really knowing what you want. But like if you are in a relationship, to just date with intention. Like if you really want to be with this person, then, you know, make sure you're confident in that in your heart. I think that in the back of your mind, you know, you should always be thinking like, is this person right for me? Can I see myself with this person? Like, are we compatible? And you run all those things through your head. There should just be that intention.
Also, like, obviously some people aren't looking to get married. Some people say that they never want to get married, and that's totally fine. But I think that that needs to be like set out on the table. So like they know your intention, they know what your intention is. It's not to get married, and you know, you can find someone who has that same intention, but you need to go into a relationship just laying it all out on the table and, you know, knowing what you want for your future.
Right.
Okay, so my very last tip is to be your 100% complete self around the other person. I see so many people like go into relationships and they put on this facade of someone that's just like
I love it.
not who they are. Like their partner is into football games and drinking beer, and this person, they don't like to drink and they've never watched a football game in their life. But for this person, they pretend like they know everything about football. They say they love going to football games. Now they're chugging beers. It's just not who they are. They're not being their true self. And I feel like you shouldn't feel like you have to dress up and look all crazy all the time, because if you're being honest, once you get married or you're living with each other, are you going to sleep in your makeup every day? Are you going to wake up before them and do a full face of makeup and have a cute outfit on so they can see you? It's not realistic. It's not about the looks. If you can't be true to yourself and your interests, if you have to alter those to be in this relationship with a person, I think that's where the line needs to be drawn, because you shouldn't have to alter anything about yourself.
Honestly, I think that's when I knew that I loved you. When you started being like your true self, and just like being weird. If you can handle each other at like your most like real state, whatever that looks like, if you can learn to just like look at that and love and appreciate that about a person, like I think that's really what makes, that's like the core, you know?
I just feel like when you can be your complete self around your partner, like you feel so much more secure in your relationship, because you don't have to put on this show of someone you aren't. Like you can just relax and know.
My last point of looking past the physical, and obviously if you're in a relationship or looking for a relationship, you want to be physically attracted to the other person. We're not going to see each other at our best, 100% of the time. If you ain't looking perfect with your makeup and your hair all did, it's just funny. We just laugh, you wake up in the morning, you're like, dude, look at my hair. But I guess from my standpoint, just looking past the physical, it's like you said, you see the person for who they are in themselves, and I think it's so much more than that. Make it a point to get to know the other person, just at a deeper level. Have those deep conversations, be weird around each other, and just do those things that just keep on discovering each other.
So that is the end of my video. I hope you guys like these tips and tricks. If you guys like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to be subscribed. Maybe turn on post notifications. You know, I don't upload very often, but
You'll know.
Those on.
You'll know when.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.